I've always had major imposter syndrome. I think that's maybe a generational thing. I kind of thought by making this channel that I would get over it. The pilot actually happened so easily. I mean, it was my own story, so the script and the edit, it just kind of flew out of me. And I was like, great, I'm an artist now. But I have set high expectations for myself in my head, and I'm terrified of this sophomore slump. So I've just been banging my head against the wall for the past few weeks, trying to figure out what the heck do I make? I had huge realizations, so many doubts.
Like, all my confidence is drained. Can I really start this channel? Can I do this?
And I want to tell you about it, but we gotta start at the beginning. So I've always been a little bit witchy. I absolutely love the whimsigoth aesthetic. Growing up watching Sabrina and Practical Magic.
Summoning up a true love spell.
And melting to the songs of like haunting female vocalists. I can feel that Celtic pull of my ancestors. And I know that like we all have this innate power inside of us. But I didn't dabble in rituals or spirituality when I was younger. I actually grew up going to Presbyterian church, and I was talking to God.
Jesus knew what to say. He said no.
And as I got older and I left religion, I think I felt a void. Like if I didn't have Christianity, then I needed another value system that was gonna connect me to something greater. Fast forward a little bit, the first feature doc I ever edited was called What Do You Believe Now? And it was actually a follow-up doc to one that was filmed 15 years prior, where Sarah, the director, had interviewed 6 teenagers from 6 different religious backgrounds.
God is in your heart, in every one of us.
It was so interesting to see these beautiful parts from all these different religions that I had never experienced before. So I think it made me realize that faith can come in lots of different forms, and I just needed to find the one that was right for me. At the age of 29, I was introduced to tarot. And nowadays, I sort of combine astrology with tarot readings. I speak to the universe, I let it guide me when I really need answers. Fast forward to last week, I was writing my second script. I grew up Presbyterian, blah, 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 blah. Then I got introduced to spirituality, blah, 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 blah. It sucked. I didn't think I had enough material to work with, so I was like begging my friends to let me interview them, trying to find people to collaborate, thinking that I needed to add more value to this episode.
If I'm feeling this much doubt and uncertainty, do I want to go through this every week? Because I'm gonna need to regularly produce things.
So I was just really lost and I needed a guiding hand. I walked to the beach and I pulled out my tarot deck and I asked it a question. Am I meant to make this YouTube channel? Should I just quit and give up now? So I pulled the Magician Upright card, which says, as a master manifester, the magician brings you the tools, resources, and energy you need to make your dreams come true. Now is the perfect time to move forward on an idea that you recently conceived. So the message was clear, but I was really curious about the what. Like, what is my channel? What is the format? What am I even making here? And this time I pulled the 3 of Cups reversed, which says, the reversal of this card suggests that you would prefer to go it alone right now. If you are involved in a creative project, now may be the time to work independently rather than in a group. I have to make it all by myself. I can't rely on other people. So I was on a roll. I was like, okay, I'm making this channel. I'm doing it alone. But why? Like, why am I doing this again? Because I thought I knew, but I'm really starting to doubt. Like, please, tarot deck, tell me. This time I pulled the 10 of Swords reversed. It said, you are combating an inevitable change or ending. It may be difficult to delve back in, but it's the only way to release yourself of this pain and allow it to pass from your life. There are things I haven't quite processed yet, but I need to work through it. And making these episodes and this channel is my way to do it. This is exactly why I do tarot. I didn't have the answers, but the universe did. It spoke to me through the cards. So, end of story. Everything's easy and the path is just straightforward, right?
I love going to the beach at sunset. It's like the weather is so nice, the sun is so gorgeous, like nobody's here because you can only be here for like an hour and then you're done, it's dark.
So the next day, I dragged my wonderful boyfriend to the beach and I asked him to film me teaching you how to read a tarot deck. I thought that could be a fun segment.
This is tarot take 2. Again, I kind of close my eyes and I feel.
I was going through the motions and kind of recreating what I had done the day before, and I asked the deck again, should I make a YouTube channel? Should I quit? Kind of half joking. And I pulled a card.
So this is my card right now. I actually wonder what it says. It says 5 of Swords.
Which said, you are competing with others on the path to happiness and seek to win at any cost. Despite your best efforts, you will come out the loser.
Oh, this also points to failure. Fuck. Okay, if I had pulled this card the other day, I would have quit. I would have quit right then and there. So I'm really glad I didn't.
Part of me was like, okay, the deck is trolling me. I really shouldn't be reading this on camera. It's like exploiting the deck's powers. So it's giving me this joke card. You know, it doesn't really mean that.
And then you'd flip this card, which is 5 of Pentacles. Interesting, I have a 5 of Swords and a 5 of Pentacles. I wonder what that means. Hardship, financial struggle, and being rejected. Holy... Let's cut.
So I didn't think much of it. We kept filming, we went home. But the next day I was driving and I kind of had a realization.
When I did the tarot the first time, I got such powerful cards. When I did it just as an example on camera, I got the worst cards ever. They were so negative. Depending on the day and what cards I would have got, that could have changed what direction I took. And isn't that scary?
Maybe I'm putting too much power in the hands of something else. And it reminded me of the beginning of my career. I was assistant editing, and the director said I wasn't very bright. And he didn't trust that I was picking the best clips for the edit. This shook me, this shattered me, and I took this as a sign from the universe that I wasn't meant to be creative. So instead, I went the more administrative route, got my first coordinating job, and started to work on the track of becoming a producer. We already know where that path leads. It leads to me feeling unfulfilled and unhappy.
As soon as I encountered my first roadblock or something was hard, I stopped. But what if I had not just taken that path so easily? What if I had kept trying or pushed again?
What if instead I put myself as the higher power? I listened to what I truly wanted, to what I truly desired, and I stopped doubting myself. Where would I be right now?
That's what I never will know. Unless I do this right now. This is the time to test it out again, to create.
I'm not saying I wasted my time and I wish I hadn't done that, no. But I do think it's a good lesson. Even though this deck of cards, it can be a useful tool, I really can't put too much power in it. Because when we take away the power from ourselves and give it to external forces, then we're putting our future in other people's hands. Because I think for a while I blamed other people for my unhappiness. And I need to take accountability. I made those choices. I doubted myself. But I think it was just the wake-up call I needed. And I think at the end of the day, we need to start believing in ourselves. Because if we don't, who will?
I feel so confident in this. Alex, this is a good idea. This is a good video.
Now this is really the end of our show.